Hi guys. So I filmed this video like literally 4 times because I can never get it in focus and I'm a piece of shit, but hopefully it's focused now because I'm so tired of saying the same story literally over and over. This is about the time that I got banned from Universal. Now before you think of anything, it wasn't for a good reason. I shouldn't have gotten in trouble, but we're just gonna get on with the story. You'll see about it later in the video. So I went to Universal this past March, and I have never been there before. I've never been to Orlando or Disney World like when I was a kid, but I had just turned 18, and so now keeping that in mind, that this was the first time like I could actually get in legal trouble and it wasn't like a minor thing, like just keep that in mind. We ended up having enough time or money to go to Universal as well, and I've always wanted to go. So it was also Mardi Gras week, so we went on all the rides and it was a lot of fun, and it was a really great experience. So I guess when you go to Universal, you can buy a pass, like your regular day pass to go there. Basically like you can use it all day, so you can go out of the park and in back to the park and you don't have to like buy another pass. And then we went to go eat dinner and we were gonna come back and then just like go do the Mardi Gras parade there and like go to a concert there, and it was gonna be a lot of fun. So we go back into Universal and we didn't drop anything off like at the hotel. We didn't have time, so we just went with everything that we had. And so we go into Universal and we're at the store, and the guy, because it's Mardi Gras, he puts like beads around my neck and it's like happy Mardi Gras, like blah blah blah. So I'm not thinking anything of this whole situation. We walk out of the store that we just went into and there's a security guard around us, like very close. So I kind of pretend I'm on the phone, like see like if, you know, he's watching us for some reason, like something like that. So we go back, like we're just walking around, and the security guard, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and he goes, "Miss, can you please come with me?" Huh? I've never heard those words in my life. I never thought I would. I got very concerned. Like, I was just scared at this point. So I'm like walking with him, I'm not saying anything, and my friend's like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" Like she doesn't see like where I'm walking or who I'm walking with. He's into this room and he goes, "Your friend will be out in a second." And I'm like freaking out at this point. Like I have no idea what's going on. Like I don't know what to say. Like I am just very confused. So he sits me down in this back room of Universal and is like, "Do you know why you're here?" So he takes me to this back room and he goes, "Do you know why I'm here?" And I want to be like, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, but like, I don't know why I'm here. So he's like, "Those beads around your neck, did you pay for those?" And I'm like, "No." And I explain the situation and how the guy like gave me these beads, and he goes, "Well, they were $3.99, whatever, like there's a price tag on them." And I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, like I didn't know. I will gladly give you the $3.99 plus tax, like I promise. Like I'm not a thief, like I promise." So he picks up the bag that I have of all the stuff that I bought in that day. Like there's some fragile stuff in there, like there's some fragile stuff in there too. And he just pours out the entire bag of stuff. Make sure that all the receipts are there, like blah blah blah, like the tags are on it. And I'm like, wow, this is getting a little dramatic. So what he does is he takes my picture and has me sign a paper saying you're not allowed back on Universal property for a year. So at this point now I'm banned from Universal for a year. And he's explaining to me like the whole situation and like that I can't come on any Universal property, so that includes California, Florida, their water parks, like everything that they own I cannot go on. Mind you, I'm still there for another week, and I'm actually leaving for California in 2 days, and my friends and I wanted to go to Universal, but guess who can't go now? So I'm like not trying to fight with him. I don't want to have to explain myself. I'm like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Like I just want to get out of the situation. So he makes me sign this paper, takes my picture and goes, "Okay, well you have 15 minutes to get off the property." So I like calmly, I'm like, "Okay, like thank you, like I'm sorry for everything." And I explain the whole situation to my friend, and for some reason our Uber wasn't working that day. So we end up having to download Lyft, and with Lyft, like you can call the same Lyft driver twice. Like with Uber you can't really do that. So the guy's like, "Yeah, you have 15 minutes to get off the property." So I'm like trying to run off this property, like because they have facial recognition, I guess, so you can get in big trouble. So we end up taking the wrong exit off of like Universal when we're walking, and we end up on the highway. So we end up finding out where this Lyft driver is going to pick us up. So it ends up being this guy, and he's from Brazil, I guess, and he had a really thick accent, so it was a little bit difficult to understand him, but he ends up like asking us out to the club and blah blah blah, and I'm like, you know, it's been a long day, like I'm not going to tell him my whole story. So he was like, well, here's my number in case you guys ever need a ride or you want to hang out. So I'm like, okay. So after that whole thing, like I didn't want to do anything for the rest of the night. My friend and I, we just like sat in the hotel room, like kind of chilled. And the next day we went to the mall, and I look over and this guy's like looking at me kind of weird, and it's our Lyft driver. He was working at like one of those kiosks in the mall that like sell perfumes and stuff, and he was like, oh, like funny seeing you here, like kind of acting like he knew, which was kind of creepy to me. Like wanted my Facebook and like took a picture with me, and like I don't know, it was super weird. And he was like, oh, well, like I hope we get to talk again before you leave. And I was actually leaving later that day, but he still like texts me and messages me to this day, and it's been like almost a year and I have not responded. So that was the time I got banned from Universal and still cannot go back. So I hope you guys like this story, and if you want to see anything else, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Bye!